Alright, greetings and salutations, you wonderful, warm and fuzzy people. Here we are again. It's been a while, but, holidays, stuff, happens. Not like I've been sitting on my butt, though, as you can blatantly see. I've got a complete disaster on my hands. Well, at least as far as my space goes, you can see. There's a car there, there's parts of the car there, there's parts of the car there, parts of the car there, there's parts of the car there, parts of the car there, some parts of the car there. Some parts of the car there, that's part of the truck, but some tools, some car parts there, some hood car parts, some more car parts, and yeah, hey, there's a motorcycle, there's a printer. But, we got to that point where we could use the space, so that's what I did, and I took advantage of it, and I thought today, before I start slamming these bits back in, that I would just give a little update and say Happy New Year, and let everybody know how things are going with the car. I don't know if anybody recalls, but from the last one, the red car is now toasted junk. It's actually sitting back on the other side of this door outside. No wheels, no nothing. More car parts. But it's unfortunate that I was going to build on it, but it was all bent. So I got this one that isn't bent, but it's a little holy. Not like as in the Pope, but as in, Swiss cheese. There's a couple This is not the original door. It's already been repainted, but whatever fool put this back together last time didn't put the wheel liner things in here, which pissed me off. Got a little bit of weirdness going on in there, which I've kind of sorted out. I just need to finish cleaning up and spray the rust out, but this wasn't really my priority. I only was in there because I was working on the inside to try and get it ready to go, which we're darn near there. I actually started putting a few odds and ends on. You can see here the floor's been fixed. This wasn't by me, this was by a previous owner. It was a lot less pretty when I got my hands on it. I wasn't aesthetically pleased, so I kind of fixed it up a little bit, but I'm not going to go too crazy because you'll never see it. And yeah, I just made sure there was no holes and all this stuff. The guy who did it didn't freaking prime anything before he painted it. He just fucking painted it, so all the paint flaked off and got moisture under it, and it was just all kinds of surface rust here. So that was all dealt with. There was a repair on this side as well that I got fixed and dealt with. You can see, there's what I'm talking about, the problem with the wheel well. Same thing on that side there, which is easy fix. It's only little tiny pieces. I don't even have to actually cut out the exact pieces. I need to bang up some metal. But I think I'm going to weld that from the outside. I'm not really going to worry about it too much right now. You can see everything has been totally stripped out of here other than a couple of things that don't need to come out. But there was an issue up here. Like I said, that's where that rust was. So I got that all cleaned out and fixed up on this side. It's just the other side now I'll get done after the fact. Started putting stuff together. Got my shifter base cleaned up a little bit. And then I changed my bushings to the aluminum bushings. Because normally these are rubber here. I gotta tighten these up, but I want to get nicer screws. You see how nice those ones are versus those ones. Ugly. Pretty. Ugly. Pretty. Ugly. Pretty. Anyway. So yeah, that one needs to be tightened up, and same with this one. I just did the other. And then I did the short shifter here. It's just a little piece. Normally this attaches right here. But this then gives you a short throw shift, which is kind of neat. I think the new handles that you buy for these, if you buy replacement, it's actually, this mount is up higher. And I might have to do one because I actually broke this little plastic cup, but I don't think it does. It's really going to affect things. It just stops the cup from spinning in a circle in there, which really doesn't. It really won't anyway, because there's a thing. Anyway, I'm not super worried about it. So I got to take the rest of this part of the harness here out. That's attached, which is just a tiny little bit. But then the new one, I think, is actually still sitting here as well. Put that in. Yeah, it's the one with the brown tape. It goes back in. They're both whatever. Yeah, the other harness is out. I replaced the harness, went through it, made sure everything was all good and dandy. Got some more extra wires coming in from a stereo and stuff. And I'm actually relocating the battery, which was already relocated, because normally they sit right here. Kind of, sort of, maybe see that tray in my darkness. And then somebody had relocated it to here. I don't know if you can see there is a battery tray down there. But normally you want a little better weight distribution and you move it up to here, even though that's where the spare normally goes. I'm just going to put it here, give me a little more weight and a little more travel in my front end suspension. One of the things you fight with these cars, because they're so light on the front. Well, pretty light, but so light on the front end, like there's no power steering or anything. And so sometimes shifting the weight to the front to get your steering, you don't get it that way. Like it's still remarkably, like the handling suspension on this car is just phenomenal. But, you know, this little tweaks you can do. You can see here I've added this master cylinder brace, which is really neat because this actually bolts to the chassis and then holds this here. So when you press the brakes, normally this will flex a little bit and you lose a little power there. So I got one of those. But other than that, you know, next time you see this, there's going to be a lot more. Like I said, the interior is going to be slammed together. I'm not really going to paint. I don't know why they took all the sound deadening out. Like, well, I guess to fix it, but I don't know why you wouldn't put something back in. I'm not going to buy that. That Dynamat is too much money, I think, for what it is. What I've gotten advised to do, and actually I've seen one of my buddies who's an auto body guy from way, way back do, is uses roof tar and roof shingles that he cuts and he puts and glues down, which is remarkably effective. It's pretty much the same thing, but rather than spending $20 for a 50 centimeter by 50 centimeter piece of it, I can buy, you know, enough to do this. You know, I might even actually be able to go to the hardware store and ask if they have any loose shingles kicking around that are busted out of a bundle and have them for next to nothing. So, you know, it's a way to go. You know, I know a lot of people are like, I'm not putting roof shingles in my car. And I know people strip that shit out to make it light, but put more power in. Don't fucking take shit out of your car to make it lighter. Put more fucking power in. Either that or replace parts with carbon fiber or aluminum. That's my solid advice. Anyway. Yeah, the other thing I noticed too is like this is the sound deadener here, but the carpet that was hanging here, it actually had like a thick plush. It's supposed to have like sound mat in it, but the one that was on here was just the straight carpet, so it's this thick. Last time I was driving this, I'm like, man, I don't remember the engine being so loud singing by my head, but, you know, I'm enthralled by it because I love the 4AG singing. Just anyway, I digress a little bit. So yeah, I just gotta, again, I think you should maybe expect to see a few more of these more often. A lot of times I can't really be asked, but here it is, Monday morning. Everybody's back to school, back to everything. So, yeah, we'll keep climbing at this. I think I'll try and get through and get most of this interior in today, tomorrow, and then maybe do a little quick update on where I'm going to go with the project from there, what my next step will be, which I'm not exactly entirely sure, but, you know, it is what it is. So, I'm going to bid you guys adieu for the day, and hope you enjoy everything that's going on. Happy New Year, and see you next time. Deft out.